alarms went off.
The alarm went off.
Right, let's go.
I feel really weird in here.
Today we've come to Wheaton in Norfolk to investigate the history and reports of hauntings at this once great manor house. Weeting Castle was built in about 1180 by Hugh de Play, who was a tenant of William de Warren, the Earl of Surrey, who owned and lived in nearby Castle Acre, which could well have inspired Hugh de Play to build a castle in Wheaton. The de Play's family lived in the castle right up until the late 14th century, when it was passed to the Howards family through marriage, where it later became disused and abandoned, resulting in the ruins we see here today. Although called Weeting Castle, it was never actually fortified, making it more of a large manor house rather than a formal castle. The moat around the outside was also never used for defence, but rather to display the wealth and power of the de Play's family. Now, although only ruins of the castle remain, it gives us a very good indication as to what it would have looked like and what various parts of the castle were used for. For example, out the front here we've got a room that was probably used as storage and preparation of food, which then led out onto a courtyard where they'd have probably had livestock and farm animals. And behind you over there you can see what was the remains of a wall that was actually used to shield these livestock and the more dirty part of the castle from a visitor's view. The large spacious area in the centre of the castle was probably the grandest of all. Back in its day it would have had large wooden beams supporting the thatched roof, as well as benches lining the walls. It was used as the main hall, as well as welcoming place for visitors, hence the impressive furnishings. The back of the castle was primarily used as living space in chambers for the family, complete with a fireplace. Back here we also find a latrine block, which was essentially the medieval version of a toilet. Human waste would fall down to ground level, where it'd then be easier to clean out. The de Play's family lived at Weeting Castle for several generations until ownership of the castle passed over to the Howard family through marriage, where over time it fell into disrepair and eventually became abandoned in around 1390. At the south end of the hall, archaeologists have discovered post holes, ditches and pottery dating back to the Saxon period. And there was probably a settlement here dating many hundreds of years before Weeting Castle was actually built. And is it possible that some of the ghostly sightings seen around here actually date back to the Saxon times when there was a settlement here? At the edge of the castle grounds by the moat is a very unusual and interesting ice house. Although this looks like some kind of medieval dungeon, it was actually used as an ice house. Built in the 18th century, its purpose was to collect all the accumulated ice that had frozen in the moat during the winter months to be brought in here where it would be kept cool and prevent it from melting. It's also in here a lot of people have come and have experienced quite oppressive feelings and have also captured many EVPs in here of quite a negative nature. I came here in 2012 to do a little bit of filming, and we came to the ice house and recorded some footage in here as well. And I went home and put the files on my laptop and didn't look at them for about 4 years. It wasn't until recently I was looking through old files on my laptop and actually found these videos, and I watched through them, and in one of them that was recorded in the ice house, we caught a strange anomaly on camera. Here's the clip I'm talking about.
Cell or something.
Now, as you saw from that clip, it looks like some kind of weird mist slash object floating across in front of the camera, and it was probably recorded around this area here somewhere. I posted on a Facebook group of the hauntings of Weeting Castle and was told it was nothing more than a bat, and apparently bats actually do live in here. Now, I've looked at the footage and to me it doesn't really resemble a bat, not to mention I'm sure if a bat had flown in front of us while we was filming, someone would have seen it. Only thing I could put it down to is maybe some kind of flying insect that appeared in a strange way on camera, but this was recorded in December, in the middle of winter, so that is extremely unlikely.
There have been a number of paranormal investigations of Weeting Castle over recent years. Many investigators have caught strange photos of what they believe to be ectoplasm mist. Many EVPs have been caught here of the voices of a woman, young children, and even the bark of a dog. Could this be the former inhabitants of the castle?
The Whispers in the Dark Paranormal Group have performed many investigations at Weeting Castle over the years, and they've been kind enough to allow us to show you some of the best EVPs they've caught here.
Hear your voice. It would be wonderful. Or you could get Percy to bark. That would be impressive.
Due to the fact Weeting Castle is situated pretty much in the middle of nowhere with no busy roads or loud towns nearby, our investigation will be a lot easier to perform. Along with the fact that there will be very little noise pollution, there are no power lines or houses running nearby, which means if we use tools such as EMF meters, we'll have much less interference coming through. Because of the amount of EVPs that have been recorded around the castle grounds, we're going to be focusing a lot on that tonight, using voice recorders as well as really focusing on the audio from the cameras when we're editing. Another thing I'd really like to try is maybe someone going solo in the ice house on their own, because a lot of activities centred around that particular area, and I think it'd be really interesting to see if, say, one person rather than someone else would experience more in there. As darkness fell, we began our investigation. So we've just got here ready for the nighttime investigation. We've set up various pieces of equipment all around the site. We've got a laser motion sensor through one of the doorways out the back, which will actually alarm if anything breaks that laser beam. Got a variety of motion sensors set up around the main hall area. We've got a geophone, all kinds of different bits of equipment. We've also later on going to be setting up a camera in the ice house, see if we catch anything in there. So yeah, let's get going. Hello, my name's Luke and this is Mitchell and Dan here. We've just come to talk to you today. Don't mean you any harm at all, we've just come here, good intentions, just want to try and communicate with you in any way. You've probably seen us earlier. We set up a lot of equipment around here. I don't know if you're able to use any of that, interact with it in some way that we'll be able to know you're here. We've got a box over there, a little white box with a blue light. If you are here, are you able to walk in front of it or manipulate it in some way to make that light turn on? If you want to use the energy from any of the equipment we've got, you're more than welcome to do so. Can you talk to us maybe? We're able to hear your voice. You speak into this box in my hand?
Sure.
If you want to hear that box Mitchell's holding in his hand, can you come over to it, touch it, do whatever you can to try and make those lights turn on? So if you need to use the energy from any of our equipment, I know there's other people have come here and they've interacted with you and communicated with you. I'd really like to see that tonight, if that's at all possible.
There we go. Did you hear that?
The alarms went off.
The alarm went off.
Right, let's go.
I thought I saw that. I told you I saw it earlier. The alarm just went off the back. That was us. But we just, that shouldn't have been us. We weren't really close to that before.
There we go. If you set that alarm off just then, can you do it again, please? Whatever you just did. If you walked in between it, if you, well, I don't know what you did then if it was you, but it'd be brilliant if you could do that again. Or can you talk to us using this? Nothing. How did that go off?
I don't know. If you are around here, you can talk to us. You can touch this little box I've got in my hand. Just let us know you're here.
We were unable to find anything that could have set the motion sensors off, leading us to believe it could be paranormal. After receiving no raw responses in that part of the castle, we decided to split up. Mitchell and Dan going to the ice house and me staying in the main part of the castle. So Mitchell and Dan have both gone off now to the ice house together, see if they get any activity in there. So I'm sort of in the main hall, main part of the house on my own at the moment. Really cool when the motion sensors went off around the back. That was brilliant. So hopefully we'll get a little bit more tonight as well.
Maybe you can talk to us through this little box I've got in my hand. No, didn't do nothing on that.
Don't know if you can use this in any way to come over to me and use this to communicate with me at all. I'll put it down here, just on the wall. If you're able to bring your energy around that and that little needle in there, you able to make that move?
No cold spots, nothing.
I'm definitely getting a vibe, but no, I don't feel uncomfortable.
Oh yeah, it's obviously a little bit of a creepy vibe, especially at night in here. But don't feel like anyone wants to talk at the minute.
No.
No. Well, we're going to go now. We're going to be back later, but if you need to talk to us or let us know one more time if you're in here, let's say one more thing for us.
After approximately 15 minutes of not receiving any activity in either part of the castle, we decided to regroup.
Try and there again. Remember when I went to
Yeah.
I feel like we're always in the wrong place, where they're on the other side.
Yeah, so this to me in here feels even less. I feel even less.
Yeah, it doesn't feel as much.
I don't feel a lot in here,
No.
to be fair.
Hollow, it feels really hollow. Well, it is hollow.
Yeah.
You get the point.
You almost get the feeling like you've been watched from a distance.
Yeah, but in here it just doesn't feel, I don't know.
Not in here though.
If you're with us, can you give us a sign in here at all? Make a noise? Or that box Mitchell's holding. If you come towards that, try and touch it.
Or if you're on the other side, you can make that laser noise go off again.
Yeah, if you're around there, could you make the alarm come on again? You don't want to be near us when you do it. So far it's proven to be quite a quiet night at Weeting Castle, until Mitchell volunteered to go in the ice house on his own. Unfortunately, the camera we left in there recording with Mitchell malfunctioned, causing the files to become corrupted, so we've got no actual footage of what happened in there. However, he did do an EVP session and caught what we believe to be an EVP. After no longer than 5 minutes, Mitchell returned to the main part of the castle. Alright. What's wrong?
I had a really uncomfortable feeling in there.
You didn't like it?
Really uncomfortable. Don't know why, I just felt all the hairs on my back go up, everything.
Didn't feel good?
No, I just felt really uncomfortable. Nothing went off.
No.
Didn't go off. I didn't get no voices.
Just
The
that
last
feeling.
one I heard, I did think I heard a breath go. But I don't know. But
Right.
Felt like something was touching
No,
me.
that's fine. No, a lot of people have felt the same thing in there, so...
I'm shaking.
Yeah, no.
I was
That's,
only in there, what, 5 minutes?
yeah, not even that, I don't think. I knew there must have been something wrong, because it's not like you to walk out of somewhere like that.
I would stay, but I
No.
could hear rustling behind me, something like that. I don't know what happened.
That's fine, mate, no.
I left the K2 in there.
Yeah.
And the voice recorder's still going.
Yeah.
So if anything's got to say anything after I've ran out, we'll
Yeah.
walk out. Whoever goes in next can double check
Yeah.
it.
So it will do. Soon after this, I agreed to have a go in the ice house on my own, while Mitchell and Dan both did a spirit box session in the main hall.
Can you make a noise? Tell us your name. Do you mind us being here?
Okay, so first off, I feel really weird in here. It's strange. I don't know if it's because it's quite claustrophobic or whether it is actually like someone here with me. But it definitely feels really strange. Really tight-chested. Not a good feeling in here. I'm going to try calling out. Is there anybody in here with me? You have to come to this little box I've got in my hand. You have to make the light flash.
How many are there of you here? I just want to talk to you.
Right, I've had enough in it now.
As the night drew on, although we could all feel a certain presence and atmosphere at Weeting Castle, we didn't actually pick up any more activity, so decided to end the investigation for this night. Although on that particular night when we visited Weeting Castle it proved to be fairly quiet, we can't dispute the activity recorded by other groups and ourselves on previous visits, and I'd definitely like to return again someday.